Hello everyone. We are trying to work on this homework about the Oracle of Bacon. And so it has nothing to do with food, interesting enough. Um, I have worked on part one of this course, SAAS part one. Um, not very stellar in terms of doing all the homework, but I'm trying to hang on to this part two, which is doing validation of instance object. Um, the instruction, as many people have said, the instruction is not very. It's actually more making it more complicated than it is. I guess the instructor is trying their best to describe what's need to be done. However, I think uh, the instructions and the steps can be a bit more to the point, maybe more concise. That would be great. Nevertheless, let's get back to getting to the code. Um, I previously I have been enjoying using Cloud9 to do in the cloud development IDE with Ruby, with syntax highlighting and all that good stuff, which is beautiful because I come from Microsoft C# world, and having a good IDE to do object parsing for you or method suggestions based on context. I think that saved a lot of hair. Um, uh, for this homework, we're dealing with validation using the active model validation uh, gem or plugin. The key thing here is to realize different ways of referencing member variables, instance variables, or variables that use for validation. So it takes some time to get used to, but I guess when you're doing validation, you're using a hash. However, when you're actually comparing the value, you are using a non-hash variable. And of course, when you're actually assigning variables to the instance variable, you have to use instance variable. So go figure, three presentation of the same dude, the from, and from. They are referring to the same thing. Um, a bit confusing. I think Ruby, the paradigm is it's just different. I guess you need to get used to it. So, in terms of the program, I think it's not very complex. However, it has a few gotcha here. The validation, which is using either you can use RSpec or Autotest, they all do the same thing. But for the longest time, if you can see, I have a lot of errors. Excuse me, when dealing with uh, uh, when it's new, it should not be valid. Okay, a lot of them is because the wiring for the error objects, it's actually a bit more complicated. You need to do this um, to create the active model error, so that you can actually start logging errors. It's not very intuitive. I guess in the background, Ruby is trying to do a lot, try to make the model and the framework easier for the programmer. But I guess for the first time he's doing it, there's a lot of plumbing you need to do in order to get that going. Once you get that part, the logic is very simple, right? We're setting default value and then specifying a bogus or application key. Later on, I'm sure it's going to be useful, and also raising the error if the if the custom validation is not cannot be passed. And also to be noteworthy is it seems like these validation is being called upon uh, all the time, just like the life cycles as indicated by the PowerPoint in class. Um, Before create, after create, there's a lot of cycles being triggered there. So, anyways, thank you for watching.